Relationship abuse is where a relationship ended up being toxic physical health, emotional health, or mental health, or spiritual health. And it's unconstitutional to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In verse 2, it states that no human shall be subjected to cruel acts by others. Nearly 1.5 million high school students experience physical abuse from their partner, and 1/3 of the U.S. is a victim of physical, sexual, or emotional and verbal abuse. Introduce yourself, please, and the organization.
Sure. My name is Lauren Grinstead. I'm the director of the development for Women's Advocates. We are the nation's first shelter for domestic violence victim survivors. And Women's Advocates is located in St. Paul, Minnesota. We have been for the last 45 years since the first night of shelter in the same location. And that's about.
How long have you worked here?
About 3.5 years.
How do you handle tough situations on your job?
Well, I need to say that my job is different than most other people's jobs here. Most people who work here have some way of where they directly interact with people who need help, either in the form of crisis intervention or working within our facilities program or the actual place that we are providing hospitality and safety, or in the women's or children's program where they're working with individuals on the healing aspect of things and the planning and kind of getting life after shelter put together. But my job is as a fundraiser. So my job is almost in a weird way to kind of sell the magic of the work that we do to people who have a few dollars to spare and can send them our way to keep our programs going. So the things that are stressful or difficult, for me, are making sure that I have appropriate amounts of information about the work that happens here.
Approximately 70% of children that die from abuse are under the age of 4. About 30% of abused and neglected children will later abuse their own children, continuing the cycle of violence. The audience.
My name is Yesenia Alvarez.
Alright. And you would say you're a victim of relationship abuse?
Yes.
Alright. If it's okay, I am gonna ask you a few questions. Alright. I will be recording this, so are you okay with that?
Yes.
Like, when you... I guess I would say when you're starting a relationship, so you have mentioned you gotten blackmailed and stuff. Were there other threats besides that?
Nope, just that one. Just the one. I mean, and like I stated, it's very hard. It's really hard going through the process like this if you guys don't see eye to eye, because like I said, I was threatened with a living situation where we're women, we have to deal with it. We are taking care of our children and they're threatened to kicking you out of a house. So you're scared. You're scared all the time. You don't know what's going to happen. There's uncertainty.
Do you think this could happen? Another question. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think this could happen to anybody and it could be affected, it could be coming from anybody?
Yes. You think you know people.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how long you're with them, all of a sudden within a month they're a stranger.
Yeah.
And then you have no idea who they are.
So you said cutting them off from your life was like going through a withdrawal of all the abuse you suffered. Is that when you also had a realization of how they were?
Yes. So when you asked me about those red flags and if I saw those red flags in the relationship, I didn't see them. After the relationship, I was like, wow, sign here, sign there, sign there. And but when you fight tooth and nail for your marriage to work, you don't see that. You just worry about, God, please let this work. So you don't see the red flags. So you're blinded. You definitely, I was blinded. I'm not saying for everybody. I was blinded by the sheer fact of how I was raised, that no matter what, you make your marriage work.
So, another question is how would you react if you were a friend of yours was going through some sort of relationship abuse, whether it's family, lover, or even like...
How would I react?
Like, how would you handle the situation?
You can only be support. You can't make the decisions for other people. You can't. That person needs to make the decision on their own. And I have been. I've got a very close network of women through my profession, and it's a tribe of women who, in this day of age, have come together to depend on each other, because we can't depend on men. As shallow and not shallow, but as sad as it sounds, you know, out of a class of 70 people, I would say maybe 20 to 30 people, women, are with men, or they're not with men anymore, but the men have left. They leave us. They leave. They divorce. They want the easy way out. So as social and loving, nurturing things that women are, we find each other and we form a bond, and we share our children, and we share our family, and we share the things that we can't get from a man. Unfortunately, that's what I'm coming into terms recently. But I saw all my students doing it. All my students, we would get together and I would, you know, I mean, I still had a husband at home, but now I've found myself in the situation where I'm that person. I'm the person that is alone. And now I'm seeking out the female tribe is what I call them. There's this band of women who take care of each other. And they take care of their children and each other's children. And we go out for dinner or lunch and do things socially because we're social animals and nurturing. And I just, yeah, it's a strange number, or a strange, you know, because we were raised, you know, with parents who are still together. I was, at least. My parents are still together. Yeah. But now it's like every 10 minutes somebody's getting a divorce, you know, or at least, you know, in my world, that's what okay, I'm next. Now it's me. Yeah.
Do you think that at some point do you think there are definitely times where abuse, let's say there's abuse in the family,
physical
or any type of abuse, and do you think it has a pretty big risk of passing it down like a family tradition?
Yes. And that's why I agreed at such an early age with our son. He's 6, and the things that he talks about in his past, in his memory, is somewhat scary, because he can recall things at 3, and that terrifies me, because we would have straight up fights in front of him, and I thought that he wouldn't remember. Now I'm afraid that he remembers, and he hasn't ever said anything about it, but in the last 3 months, I hope he sees that we're both happier being separated. I hope he doesn't quite understand why, but he knows that it's okay, because no matter what, I'm still going to be his mom and he's still going to be his dad.
We need to focus more on this type of abuse. It happens way too often than it should, and it hurts people.
Any things you could do to help people in relationship abuse is donating to many places where they handle and help people who have been victims of
relationship abuse. Also, another thing to help is to help them realize either what they're doing wrong that's making the relationship toxic, or what they could do to make their partner understand that the relationship is toxic.